there was a direct attempt to assassinate me and my wife. And this was led by the police and Stanley Livondo, Nabii Nabwera, Rashid Echeza, and the some MCs, Kinakivish and Kevin Mahelo. Of course, those are small fellows we have not been mentioning, but they are solidly behind it. They attacked. Livondo came to the hotel. He was leading. Livondo was the front. I've never been close to him before, but of course I've seen him on TV. So when he approached the hotel and I was called out, I went outside the gate and he told me, "Seth, come." He called me like his baby. I saw the gun. The gun was just right here. And I told him, "You want to see me? Come inside." I went back and sat, continued doing what I was doing. And then there was some kind of commotion, and they left. We didn't know that his people had scaled the wall and dropped in the hotel. So one of the guys, unfortunately, was left behind.
Yesterday we did address the nation on very clear plans by the government to disrupt voting, to manipulate the voting, and to do this they were employing about 3 tactics. The opinion polls show that the government candidates are trailing the opposition candidates. Here in Malava, Honorable Seth Panyako was leading by 58%, followed by the UDA candidate, Ndakwa, at 38%. When you go to Mbeere, Karis was leading. And when you go to Magarini, Stanley Karisa Kenga was leading. We are in possession of their pre-marked ballots that are supposed to bridge the gap between the government candidates and the opposition candidates. Here in Malava, there are about 10,000 pre-marked ballots that have been brought here. In Magarini, another 10,000. But in Mbeere, they have taken 15,000. Now, this was out of the over 800,000 ballots that were printed in Greece. But the serialization was tampered with. And they never allowed the opposition and all participants to do the verification and the inspection by the law. This has created ballots that are unaccounted for. These are the over 30,000 ballots we're talking about. Now, to get these ballots in to bridge the gap between Panyako and Ndakwa, or between Karis and Mudende, or between Kenga in Magarini and Kombe, they must, first of all, use goons who are escorted by the police to cause violence. So their number one weapon of choice is violence. When we announced this yesterday, I didn't know within 3 hours, by the time I left Nairobi and landed here at home, they had from 8 to 9 o'clock already surrounded Seth Panyako's hotel, just a few kilometers down the road from Lunyu polling station where he votes. He just lives down the road at Downhill. He was with his dear wife who is here with us, and they were surrounded and they were attacked. Now, those who led the goons, we had Stanley Livondo, who has a reputation, having participated in Langata polls before, of violence and bribery. He was called Mr. Moneybags. We also had Nabii Nabwera, that is the MP for the neighboring constituency of Lugari, who was actually the commander of these goons. And we had Rashid Echeza from Mumias West, who also has the reputation of violence. And all these were under the command of none other than Farouk Kibet, the president's personal aide. They raided this hotel for hours. Our candidate tried to reach out to the police. There was no response. He had to escape on a motorbike with his wife at night. And eventually, they broke in after the gates were locked. The police from Matete police station, using our police Land Cruiser, they are the ones who broke the gate and allowed access by the goons. So the police were working in cahoots with the goons to cause violence. And it was a deliberate attempt to assassinate our candidate because they have been unable in the last 5 weeks to bridge the gap. He has been leading in all polls, including UDA polls. So we want to tell this government that we are aware, and we told the country yesterday, no amount of violence or police harassment is going to change the will of the people. The heavy bribery that has gone on, including yesterday, the women rep of Kakamega, Elsie Muhanda, dishing out relief food, beans, rice, using non-food items, blankets, and mattresses, accompanied by the PS Beatrice Nyangala, using chiefs, sub-chiefs, to actually try and woo the people to vote for the government. So all these are election offenses. And the most blatant one is the extra ballots that they're trying to introduce. So apart from the attack on the candidate himself, we are aware that in the course of today, they are still going to try and cause violence. These goons, after the raid on Panyako's home last night, they have retreated. But in the course of the day, we are aware they are going to go to strongholds over our candidate to cause violence. Then the police will disrupt. And once that is done, there are presiding officers who are targeted to now bring in these ballots in that confusion. So we are aware of all this. And what we want to urge our supporters is that 10,000 ballots are not enough to change the will of the people. There are over 90,000 registered voters in Malava. Please come out. Mujitokeze. Musiuziwe uoga. We know Panyako is your choice. Is a people's choice. Don't allow your choice to be overturned by these tactics by William Ruto, Farouk Kibet, and their goons. Thank you.
Thank you very much. As you know, I'm the UDA candidate for Malava parliamentary seat. Here I am. I've casted my vote. I'm with my wife here, my family, Sahol. We've done our democratic right, and I will be waiting for the results. We've done the campaigns. It has been very harrowing, but we've endured to this moment. For me, where I judge this exercise, I have no complaint with IPC. Security-wise, we have had some issues. Mostly, there has been a lot of abuses from my opponents. There's been a lot of fights from the side of my opponents. Even up to this time, I've restrained myself. They have done all sort of abuses to me. I've not even tried to reply back. They've done attacks to my colleagues, even MCS, members of parliament, but I've restrained them not to retaliate because this is an election that I'm winning. And for me, I have to show some exemplary leadership by getting humility first as a character, because I don't have to let the people bleed for me to lead. That is why I've restrained myself. I've been provoked a lot, but for me, I've been for peace all through. During my campaign, I've not even mentioned my competitor at any given time by name. I've not even tried to get into their territories with a lot of energy, because at the end of it, I have to respect them and respect also the way they are conducting themselves. But for me, I'm telling the people of Malava, let them exercise their democratic right, let them make their choice, and let them not be intimidated by anybody, let them not be coerced in any way. The blackmail that is going around from my opponents, those are side issues. And I want to state categorical that if there is anything, I've been the peaceful candidate in this election. The government has tried to assure me of security and also to give peace to my people. But a lot of provocation has come from my opponents. So mine is to urge people to get out, that the only statement they can send is to elect a leader of their choice. And here I am. I'm confident I'm going to win this. That is why I'm calm, and I'm pushing it to the end. The results will have to give a statement to the opponents that they are not. Leadership is not about. Leadership is not about the character they have been trying to show every other time. And you cannot impose yourself to the people, because at the end of it, it is what the people look at you as a character. It is what the manifestos you have. It is what the agenda that you sell to the people that will propel you to the leadership. And here I am. I'm urging my people, stay calm. This election we are winning. Whichever way we are provoked, let us keep peace. Because at the end of it, we are a family, and we need Malava to move forward when we are together.
Maybe your opponents are accusing the government machinery, and they are saying they are doing so to aid you forcibly get the seat. And secondly, from your experience, you, as an MCA who served 2 terms, during 2022, those who voted were slightly above the half mark. This is a by-election. From your projection, what do you think will be the numbers at the end of the day, given the prevailing circumstances and the atmosphere generally?
Personally, this is not my first time of engaging myself in an election. And I know the rules of the game. And as up to now, I'm saying I've not even caught any security threat, because I'm not playing hard on anybody. I'm just laying my facts right. I'm setting the agenda to the people. I'm trying to tell people what I can do for them. And the issue about the government maybe aiding me, the only thing that I can get me associated with the government is because I'm in UTA party, which is a ruling party. So I can't run away from saying that I'm close to the government. But in any way, opposition will cry foul, because it depends on how they are conducting themselves, because they have no evidence. Even if they have evidence, then they can adduce it to court, or they can explain it to the machinery of the state.
More radio, 88.2 FM. We are in charge.